This really isn't the video I expected to be making for the first video for 2024, but it is what it is. Welcome back to the channel, guys. Welcome to another video. Today I have to replace the turbocharger in my BMW 320d. I was driving the car today and the car went limp, billowing of white smoke behind the car. Heard something snap, so most likely that the turbo is gone. So I have picked up one off marketplace for the time being until I send this one for reconditioning or maybe some upgrading. So I'm just going to use this replacement unit for the time being until I get mine completely sorted out, which you will guys see in next coming videos. But before we go ahead, I'm going to go through the steps and everything that you're going to see, and you'll be able to replace your turbo without any hassles. So without further ado, let's get into it. So starting off with the engine bay, we're going to have to remove the cowl covers, the engine covers, and then the air filter housing. The best way to do it. And then after, we're going to jack up the car, go from underneath, remove all of the undercovers, and then be able to remove the turbo. Now I've shown you guys many times to remove the cowl cover, the engine cover, so I'm just going to glance over that, time lapses, so you can get to the important part. Now that we are at this point, I'm going to remove the air filter housing, which is held on by an E10 over here, and then this part should just slide out. Thereafter, it's 5mm Allen keys which we use to remove this shrouding part here. Then we have access to the air filter, which I will remove, and there's 3 covers underneath which then pops out, and you have access to the heat shield. That's how you remove the turbo. With the air filter and everything removed, you can see we have these 3 little covers right here. 1, 2, 3. You're gonna try and pop these out like so. And then you have this metal cover here, which you're just gonna pop out, and that should fall down. That's not supposed to happen. It's just supposed to be lying up here, but when I get down there, I will pick it up. But then you have these 1, 2, 3 bolts that hold the turbo in place. So we're just going to loosen that up now, and then once you're at the bottom, there's it. Once you're at the bottom, then we can finish up down up underneath. Okay guys, the situation update is this. I removed all of the undercovers, I removed the downpipe, and I removed everything else I can see from the top. However, I do need a 12-point socket, 12mm 12-point socket to remove the turbo off the manifold. Ironically, I have that at home, not in the workshop. So I'm about done for right now, as much as I can. We'll pick this up for you guys in the next couple of seconds, but for me in the next morning. Okay, now that I got the turbo out, which was an absolute pain, which I'll explain later, I'm just going to transfer this bracket with the actuator. There's a little circlip inside there, so I'm going to transfer it with this entire thing onto the other turbo, so I don't have to make any adjustments on this, because this is an absolute pain to get right. And if you don't get this right, the car will be not performing as it should. So I'm just going to remove the circlip and take this entire thing off, and then transfer it onto the new one. So you'll see that now. So I have to remove the turbo housing, the front end of it, just so I can get access for more leverage and some wiggle room for the actuator to come out. Let's set it right here. Then I can take the other side off and do the same for the replacement turbo, which in theory should work. There's a circuit right here, and we'll get this off. Out, and I can get this out of the way. Now if you can do this my way, it's perfectly safe to do so, because if you can take the turbo housing off, there's this little locator pin right here, and now there's a hole in the housing, in the cartridge itself right here, so it only fits in one way. So you can do it like this, well, this is one-handed, but it locates and it's set. So I'm just going to put the actuator on now, get all the circuits in, and I'm going to tighten it up. You can see this is much better. Now I don't know how clear it's going to be, but removing the turbo and installing the turbo is the exact same process, just in reverse. So the turbo is being held up by these three 13mm bolts onto this bracket, one two onto the block and one at the bottom of the turbo. The three 12mm that are on the top that holds the turbo to the manifold with the gasket in the middle. You have the oil drain, the oil feed, which is in the front, which feeds the center of the turbo, and then you have the oil drain, which if I can try and put my hand here so you guys can see it. It's held on by this little L hose with two clamps that you need to tighten down. There's a little metal feed drain that goes at the bottom, and that just locks in. And then you have the V-band, which holds the downpipe in, and you have the actuator, which you see outside. But so yeah, the tricky part to get it is you need to basically wiggle the whole turbo out and feed it through where you can see me now. I'm just at the bottom of the bell housing on the right side of the gearbox. So you can get it out from there. If your car is left-hand drive, it's all the better, because you won't have the steering column right here. But right-hand drive car is a little bit on the challenging side, but it can be done, as you've seen. Okay, so most of everything is closed up. Car started, there's no funny noises, it's revving up and everything properly. So now I'm just going to close up everything here, and then we'll be done with it. Well, that's it. I have assembled everything, I've done everything, I've tested everything, apart from having to drive the car. So I'll do that after I finish this video. But yeah, I'm happy with everything where it is now. There's no smoke, well, apart from whatever's left in the exhaust, the oil was left in the exhaust. There's no leaks, everything is fine, I don't see any problems. So yeah, I'm just going to leave it at that, and I'm going to get to editing this video. Everything that I've used in this video will be linked in the video description, as well as the manual for this car, which you're going to see if you're interested. Link out below if you're interested to check it out. So yeah, but yeah, thank you so much for watching. If you're interested in seeing whatever is left to do with this car, please do subscribe, like the video, and leave your comments down below. I probably am going to send this turbo out for repairs or make it a hybrid. I'm not too sure as yet, but subscribe to the channel if you want to see what's going on. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.